Hey everyone, welcome back to another movie review. Today I'll be reviewing another of my most anticipated films of the year, Inferno. So Inferno stars my favourite actor Tom Hanks, and it was directed and produced by Ron Howard, who's a great director. And it's pretty much the third film in the unofficial Da Vinci Code trilogy. So we had the Da Vinci Code out about 10 years ago, then it was followed by Angels and Demons, which I really like. So the story follows Professor Robert Langdon again, who's a symbologist, and he wakes up in a Italian hospital, I think in Florence, and he has no memory of what's happened over the last few days. He has a head wound, and people are trying to kill him from the WOW organization, which is the World Health Organization. So he's on the run with the doctor that he met, played by Felicity Jones, in the hospital. And over the next couple of days, he's pretty much recollecting his memory of the past few days, trying to figure out why people are after him and what's happening. And anyway, there's been a virus kind of plague thing that's been hidden somewhere in the world, and Tom Hanks and this girl Felicity Jones, they have to kind of figure out where it is, because it's a virus that once it's released will kill most of the world's population. There's a guy played by Ben Foster in the film who dies early on in the movie, but he pretty much had this idea that the world is overpopulated, and if we keep going at the rate we're going, that the world is just going to destroy itself through humanity being extremely overpopulated. So that's why he wanted to release this disease to kind of cut back half of the Earth's population so they can kind of have a chance and start again. So when you think of it that way, it is a bit ridiculous, the story, and the fact that someone could come up with a plague, I guess, that's going to destroy half the world's population. But these are the kind of films that you just kind of have to roll with. You kind of have to just leave reality at the door and just enjoy the film for what it is, which is like a good escapism kind of film. And much like the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, it follows a very similar kind of story where they're pretty much after something that only they can find and discover through codes and symbols, and there's lots of chase sequences through Rome and Italy and all through like these European countries and everything, with lots of explanation in between. There's also a really cool soundtrack by Hans Zimmer again. I think he composed for all three films, so that's good. And I'm not a huge fan of the Da Vinci Code film, but I really enjoyed Angels and Demons. I thought it was really fun, even though it is quite far-fetched. And Inferno also is equally as good as Angels and Demons, I think, or maybe not quite as good. It's still really good, a lot better than the Da Vinci Code in my opinion, although it is a bit far-fetched and over the top as well. So what I liked about this movie was that it kicked off straight away. It didn't slow down, it got right into the story and the characters, and you never had time to get bored. It's only a 2-hour film, so it's quite a bit shorter than the previous two films. So there's no boring sequences, it's always constantly fast-paced. And of course all the actors are fantastic, especially Tom Hanks being my favourite actor. I was really looking forward to seeing this. He's done a lot of great movies this year, with Sally and A Hologram for the King earlier this year as well. So it's good to see 3 good movies that he's put out this year. Felicity Jones was also really good, and Ben Foster. Irrfan Khan was pretty good as well. He's that Indian guy, I don't know if I pronounced the name right, but he was good in the film. And the film looked really nice, just like the previous 2 films. They're shot really beautifully, great cinematography throughout European countryside and cities. And obviously the soundtrack by Hans Zimmer was really cool as well. So one of the biggest things that worked against this film, for me at least, was the twists and turns that the film started taking in the second half. There were a few cool twists that were unexpected and unforeseen, and they were cool, but there was also a lot of backstory to characters changing and things going on that didn't really make sense. And by the end of the film, there's so much that's happened in the last act of the film that kind of takes away from the first part of the film. And it's still really enjoyable, but you've got to be concentrating, and it's just kind of a bit far-fetched and unrealistic by that point, but it's still a fun movie. Also, during the action sequences and chase sequences, it was a bit shaky, the camera movements and everything, unfortunately. It didn't really need that. It would have been easier to see what was going on, obviously, if they had filmed it stabilised. So still, I really enjoyed this movie. It was entertaining the whole way through. The performances were good, the music and everything. I really enjoyed this one. As I said, not quite as much as Angels and Demons, but quite a bit more than the Da Vinci Code still. So I'm going to recommend Inferno, guys, and I'm going to give it a solid B+. So definitely check out this film if you're a fan of Tom Hanks, because his performances always deliver and he's great here once again. Or if you're a fan of the previous 2 films, if you are, then you'll definitely like this one. So thanks guys for watching my quick review of Inferno. If you've checked out the film, please let me know what you thought of it in the comments below, ask me any questions. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.